Hey guys, welcome back to Spence Outdoors. So, I got a cool one for you today. We're out here in the garage, and I got my decoy out from last year. And this decoy is probably 8 years old, so it ain't like the new fancy ones. But you can do this with the new fancy ones too, what I'm getting ready to show you. So, let's just get into it. So, this decoy is old and faded. Now, this decoy is modified because up top here it has a little PVC pipe that runs down through, and you stick a piece of rebar or something like that, and the deer will spin. You tie their leg and you stick it in the ground so it only spins so far, so it ain't just constantly spinning in circles. It'll look unnatural. Now my decoy, we didn't have the tail, so what I did was took an old cloth rag right here, and I just cut a couple strips so when the bucks see that tail flicker, what it does is if they're real far off in the distance, which normally decoy hunting you want them close, but they'll see this tail flicker and they'll come right into that. I've killed a lot of bucks over that. You can even take one of these clothes rags or whatever they're called, and you can tie one and just sit here and flick it like this. So that brings in a lot of bucks. Now, with it being so faded and stuff like that, we're gonna actually do some painting on it to get it all dialed in. Now down here is, if you see these clips that where you stick it into the ground, they break a lot because when the cold gets to them in the winter, they'll just snap right off when you go to put a stake in them. So that's why you see electrical tape back there. That's another pro tip. Electrical tape that all the way around the foot, and that will keep the deer from, or that will keep the spoke right here from snapping off. So that's a cool tip. And you can see that PVC pipe, it goes all the way through. So you just drill a hole into the top, get yourself a PVC pipe and a little cap, and then you put it all the way through the deer. PVC pipe goes up through it, and or a piece of rebar goes up through it, and then you just stick it in the ground. You can even use one of these if you use to cut it. Just a piece of bar like this, and then you just cut it right here, and then stick it in the ground, and put your deer through it, and then allow your deer to spin. The more realistic you can make this, the better. Even that fly on there, realistic, we should glue him. My deer does not have ears also, so I'm gonna have to fabricate something to stick in there for ears. But yeah, so as you can see, this was like how a factory it was. It was just brown. It didn't have a painted nose or nothing like that. So I went and painted the nose. I'm not finished yet, but Haley's painting the chest to make the deer look just a little bit more realistic. That's all you want in these deer, is just to pop it out. Like even the eyeballs, and it looks like it's blind. We're gonna paint over that. We're gonna make it look nice and new again. And then even the feet, I know they're minor details, but the more realistic you can make it, the better. Hey guys, so I got the deer all finished up. Me and Haley went and painted it, and it looks really, really good. You got to leave your comments down below though. Tell me how good I did or how bad I did. Haley did most of the painting, to be honest. Only thing I did was the nose and the eyes, I believe. But she did the rest. Back here we went ahead and I had a piece of string holding this on, and I went and drilled a hole and zip tied it, so looks a lot better. Deer won't be able to notice the string now. So I've had a lot of people make fun of me about this, but let me tell you something. The wind blows on a windy day, and this tail will flicker. Like the one that came with it, the one that come with the decoys, they suck. They're absolutely trash. So I like this a lot better. It adds a little movement when there's wind, and especially in the rut. If a buck sees a tail flicker or anything, they're looking for any sort of movement to find out where that doe is. So you spray a little doe pee in the air, and they smell that. They're looking for where it's at, and they see this, and then maybe a bleating heat. Dude, they're coming in. There's no doubt about it. And this will move with the wind on if you have this on the thing. This was a super good idea. I thank my grandpa for that. He was kind of a genius. And then I also got my stake down here. I'm going to leave that the same. They don't really seem to notice that, but when it's down on the ground, the orange cord, they don't care. I mean, the bucks are coming in no matter what, they see it. But we just wanted to make it look a little bit presentable. Haley went so extreme, she painted the hooves down there. Show them the hooves. She went extreme, guys, so She probably spent a good hour or two on this, making this. Over here, this kind of looks like trash. Don't judge. I went and cut ears out of tin because I couldn't find the ears for it, and I looked them up and it was outrageous. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I can make my own better. So I went and made some. I just cut a little piece of tin out and painted them. They look really good. I painted the eyes black, but Haley's like, no, they gotta look better than that. You're gonna see the eyes from a mile away. She really didn't say that, but that's what I felt. So I went and painted them. She went and painted them brown, and she went and added the white around them. I painted the nose. Looks really good. But if you get a front view of it, it looks super clean. Haley even got the chest down there. The white legs, or like the inside of the white legs, like the armpits and everything. She went above and beyond. I mean, it looks really good. The only decoy that I know that would probably be better than this one right off the gate is, I think they're called Dave Smith's decoys. Can't quote me, but they're like $1,200 decoys. I've always wanted one, but I can't justify the money, so this is what you get. But I wanted to show you a little bit of a hunting tactic here. This is what I think. So let's say that hold on, let's move the chair real fast. Let's say me and Haley are hunting here, and I'm sitting down with my bow right there, and let's say I'm trying to get them in a recurve range, of course, because I'm shooting a recurve. Now, if Haley's shooting a crossbow, we can bump that decoy out there a little bit further, because she can shoot a deer 85 yards, no problem. I can't. My yard's like, really, to be honest, is like 25 tops. But I mean, I can pull off a 30-yard shot. I've been practicing at 30 a lot. Man, my foot is itchy, dog. Anyways, I've been shooting out 30 yards a lot, so I feel comfortable, but 25 is like more in my range. Now, if I'm hunting there, what I like to do, a lot of people will debate it, I like to have the decoy slightly quartered away. I want it to look like where I'm at, but I want to be able to get this shot and then this shot. Now, what a buck is going to do, I'll get back there and we'll show you. Get back there. Go by that grumbling. I'll yell so they can hear me. Okay, so what a buck is going to do is he's going to walk. If he's walking and he sees this decoy, he's going to come like this. He's going to want to get downwind of that. So if I'm in that ground blind that she's at, I got a perfect shot right here, because he's wanting to breed that doe. So we're still at the same spot, and he's coming this way. He's going to circle around even further, but that shot's still going to be in my distance. There's a giant hole, so I'm trying to pull in. So either way he goes, I can shoot towards it. Now, in the early season, a lot of bucks might be intimidated by the doe. We're talking like October 1st through like the 28th. They're going to be kind of intimidated by it. I know that they're getting amped up and they're ready to, like, they're starting to look and stuff, but they're still a little bit on edge. Unless you got like a real mature buck and he's been around quite a while, he's still going to, the younger bucks are still going to be on edge, which I'm not going after a young buck. I'm going after a mature buck, so this would be good. But normally doe decoys bring in a lot of does in the early season. Now, I have 2 decoys. The other one's at Haley's house, but what I sometimes like to do is I'll take her legs off, or I'll leave this one and put it as a buck, but the other one I'll take the legs off and make it bedded, and then I'll do a buck decoy and a doe decoy combo, and that's killer. It's a lot of extra work going in there, but if you can get, I'd say about an hour and 30 minutes before sunrise, maybe 2 hours, and get in there and set it all up, it's really worth your time and while. But for him, I also like to, up here you can put antlers. I only do 1 antler on the decoys. I feel like it brings in a lot more deer. Even young bucks, they're less intimidated by it, because they're thinking, oh, well, I got both my antlers. He only has 1. Let's fight. The mature bucks, they're definitely not scared of that. They're thinking, oh, well, he's a weak link. I've never seen him before. He's just now showing his face and trying to steal my doe. Let's kill him. And I also did the ears pinned back. You can have them back here facing forward. I like my ears pinned back, especially if I'm doing a buck and a doe decoy. The buck decoy is going to make sure like he's looking big. He's listening for everything around him. That even goes for early season. If I'm trying to draw in the doe with one of these and her ears are pinned back, they're more calm, thinking that she's listening rather than them. They're still going to, does are just sketchy. They're going to be on edge no matter what, but that's what I like to do. I've had it where I've done this before, and that is a no-go. Deer will come in and they'll see that she's facing that way and pick you out immediately. But if she's facing quarter and two, like you, what's going to happen is they're thinking that she's already looking that way, that you're safe. So that's the best case scenario I got for you guys. That's what I do personally do. That's what I'm going to stick to. I've had a lot of success with decoys. I've hunted with decoys ever since I was a kid. And if you've never used one, dude, they're a game changer. There's some things I don't recommend. One is don't ever leave your decoy out in the woods. If you're going back home or whatever and you think it'll be fine, the coyotes will pee on it. You'll have coyote scent all over your decoys, so don't do that. The second thing is, what was the second thing? Oh man, dementia runs in my family. I hope not. The second thing is, know your distance with these. You always got to counter in the factor that the buck is going to circle way more of a loop on the left-hand side more than the right-hand side. Same way if I was going to do this, he's going to circle in way more on the right side than he would the left side because it's at an awkward angle for him. He's wanting to get exactly behind her. So you always got to factor that in. Don't set your decoy out too far. That's a killer. Don't set it up too close because then they're going to see you more likely to draw back and stuff. You kind of want to at a medium distance, but enough distance where they won't see you draw back, but also close enough to where if he circles out 5 more yards, that's not going to be a problem for you. That's a big concern. The third thing is that I can think of that don't do, that we've seen actually, we've personally seen a hunter do this. There's 4 actually, but number 3 is do not leave your decoy set up for multiple days on end. Out at Haley's house, down the road from where she lives, there was a guy that had a decoy set up for like what, a month maybe, set up in the same exact spot. It kind of ruined his spot. You just know because we used to drive around every day and there'd be deer out in that field packed full of deer, and then he left that decoy up and there was not a deer there for probably 3 or 4 months, and finally he took it down. There's still no deer. So don't leave your decoy up. Even if you're on your own ground, don't do it. Just take it out of the woods, take your time. It sucks carrying them in and out, I know. They're kind of noisy too, but they're worth it if you can get in there quiet, use them effectively and stuff like that. The fourth thing is, the most important tip I can give you is do not, whatever, for any reason, unless you want to be killed, is use it during shotgun season. I know that's kind of obvious, but I've personally seen somebody use it during shotgun season, and that's just a bad idea. You never know what can happen, and another deer hunter, I mean, seeing this out from 200 yards away, you would have no idea that this is fake. Me and Healy was looking at it from 40 yards, and we was like, dang, if I put it next to that cornfield right there and showed you guys on camera, you probably wouldn't have any idea. I mean, maybe because my ears are a little whacked, but from 200 yards out, this looks like a real deer, and if you're sitting right there and he's shooting at it right here, you're dead. So just don't do that. Just always be aware. Think about it. Think about it before you do it. Use your mind. You got one for a reason. But I think that pretty much covers it on the decoy aspect. She's looking really good. We can't wait to use her. There's just a lot of things that go in with decoys. You can probably look up more better videos that actually use them and show you. We plan on using them this deer season. I'll definitely record some of that for you guys. Oh, and another funny tip is when you get on your phone and you're scrolling through Facebook and you're using one of these, once you put your phone down, you're always gonna, every single time, you're always gonna think there's a deer out in front of you. Me and Haley do it nonstop, like deer, and then we realize it's our decoy. It just happens. I don't know why, but it does. But yeah, if you guys wanted to add this part, it's just a little PVC pipe. Drill a hole through it, put a cap on the top, stick a piece of rebar in it, and then when it's up, it does this. It just spins with the wind. So adds more realistic. You're just trying to trick the deer into thinking this is another real deer. In the rut, killer setup, killer setup. And if you're using a recurve like me, it's definitely a must. Anything just to draw those deer in closer. In Illinois, we can't bait deer. Not that I would, even if we could. I think that's kind of cheating, but that's just me personally. Anything to trick the deer. A lot of people think this is cheating, and I mean, it somewhat is. I mean, you're just fooling them, but that's what all of us hunters are out here to do. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.